Super. BS.
Howdy doody, my gang. This is your buddy, bro, Brank Braderson, Brian III, the Wagoner, the one you know and you love. Episode 25, September 14th. You thought it would never happen, but we did it. We finally got there. And who is this sitting to my right?
Is that stage right or right?
Stage right.
Stage right.
Person, I'm literally, and everybody can see this because this is a podcast, I'm staring at this person right now.
It's Donna.
Donna! Hooray! And who is this? The man of the hour that I haven't heard from in a long time sitting across from me.
It's Stank Bank.
Stank Bank, Bank Stank, Stankerson III. Well, the party's all here. We dropped Jank.
I'll also be Jank tonight, so whenever I ask you guys a question, I'll say, now let me ask you this.
Yeah, just ask the question 10 more times.
Yeah.
Because we don't have that enough.
Should I be doing that tonight? Should I be Josh tonight?
Please.
Okay.
I know
you love that.
I think he'd be honored by having somebody just annoy the crap out of me over and over and over again.
Tell us how you really feel.
Well, Josh knows I love him, and he annoys me to death. But, yeah, it's a love-annoying relationship. Yeah, anyways, we are back. What have you guys been up to since the last time I talked to you? Dank, a.k.a. Madonna. Have you done anything cool?
Yeah.
What'd you do?
I went to a plastic surgeon's office, and he...
Nice getting those...
The guy recommended, right?
Yeah.
Getting those double D's.
Getting those double Donnas.
Double Donnas on, man.
I looked at the massive holes in my legs
and,
from my surgeries.
And they put...
Oh, you really went to one.
Really went to one.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
okay. Well, was it successful?
It was great.
It was great.
Just a checkup.
Okay.
Did you get to do anything like play games or watch movies or anything?
Yeah.
While you were there specifically.
I don't really care about after. This is about that moment.
Yeah. Tap, tap, tap.
Taparoo.
We were worried that the taps weren't getting picked up now that we changed to mic. So
we have a tap mic set to the table.
Well, the reason I tap is because I have re-accessed my account in Super Mario Run and played a lot of that this week.
Oh, there you go.
Nice
Segue.
You've been getting all those gold coins from all those losers online?
No, I've already maxed out all of that stuff.
Okay.
So I unlocked every character, and everything that you need to do Rally for I've already done. So I'm going back through the main levels to collect the colored coins. And I did the pink coins like a year ago, whenever it launched.
Yeah.
We're getting close.
Did you ever do the purple coins?
I finished the purple coins, and now I'm on the black coins.
You play that, Bank Stank, a.k.a. Dave?
I don't play mobile games. And
It
if you
is
listen
a good
to
one.
any other episodes in this podcast, you will know that you both hate mobile games.
Yeah.
Yeah, but this is actually a really good mobile game.
Is it
pretty
really?
fun?
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
I'd
great.
say it's pretty fun. And
It's-
we're not going to choose Secret of Mana on iPhone over Vita. That's kind of what we're talking about. But
There's there's something to be said for a mobile game. I mean, Nintendo's a smart company, and they wouldn't throw out a Mario game that was terrible.
yeah.
That's true.
And they made it work for phones. They didn't let's have like really terrible phone controls.
Yeah, trying to
Yeah.
make it and just doesn't translate.
Yeah, they did their own thing. Same thing as like Terra Battle, which I'll talk about later because there's a sequel coming out in a week. So
Oh, really? It's
but
lots changed since the last time we recorded when you talked about it.
yeah, but
Crazy.
There are games that are designed with for mobile, not to like translate something that would like it's not like a way to like, oh, let's take this thing that's great on a console or handheld and put it on mobile. It's like,
Yeah.
what can we do that only mobile can do?
Yeah, that's a smart way to do it.
That's what Super Mario Run is. And
So
it's
you
really
should play
fun.
it, Davey.
I'm
yeah,
not
it's,
gonna, but okay.
yeah, it's great. It's a great iPhone time waster.
It is. It's fun, especially like when you're going through it. It's way too short. That's the only thing. I wish they made like 100 more stages because
Yeah.
I would have played all of them.
Yeah,
But,
it is
I
really.
I
they
wish
are
this
short.
free game was infinite.
It wasn't
time.
free. That's
It's
the only
not
thing.
free.
It's
It's not
kind of
the first-
expensive.
the first
it's a
world is
$10
free.
game.
And then the rest of the 8 worlds are
Dang.
$10.
for like
$10.
for a phone game, that's like
You
it
get
might
Heroes
as well
of Might
be.
and Magic on the iPad
I
for
know,
$10,
man.
which is
You get-
also a great port.
You can get
Yeah.
Final Fantasy VI on iPhone or iPad with terrible graphics,
And
but it's
controls,
like
yep.
70-hour game.
Yeah,
That's more of a 40-hour game.
if you don't kill yourself.
I feel like you could get 70 hours of that
You
game.
could,
Yeah.
if you're a bitch.
Yeah. Well, I'm a bitch. I'm a bitch. I'm a
Specifically-
lover.
Shots fired.
Yeah.
I'm a bitch.
Yeah.
We're not going to get sued. Everybody can use that song.
Oh my
It's,
gosh, that song
Public
reminds me.
domain.
What?
It's public domain.
It's
Is
a
that-
public domain song.
We should get Charlie Kelly to ask him about public domain.
We need a bird lawyer on this. What have you been playing, Davey?
I wasn't done.
Well, we're going to talk about your game soon, my jerk.
I wasn't done with what games I was playing.
Okay.
Oh, what other games are you playing?
I started playing a game in the Witcher series, 2.
Witcher 3.
Witcher 2.
Some friend of yours got you Witcher 3 for your birthday and said, hey, maybe you should skip Witcher 2 and actually just get to this because it's one of the best games I've ever played.
Yeah, but everyone that's a big Witcher fan says Witcher 2 is you just have to play it. So,
Oh man, I did not get too far in Witcher Dos.
Yeah.
Me neither.
Witcher 2 did not get me too far.
It's not a bad game. It just is really complex.
yeah,
It
but
reminds me a lot of
people-
Divinity.
It is really complex.
Yes.
And it's not the port for console, which I'm playing it on, is very weird for. I mean,
Yeah.
they
It's
didn't.
their first console game.
Yeah,
Like console
but
try.
most people say the story is actually better in Witcher 2.
Yeah,
Um,
I've heard that, but I think the gameplay and the fact that you're probably going to play Witcher 2 for 40 to 60 hours means you want it to be fun.
your bitch.
Well, I'm sure I'll get used to it. Cause it's not too bad. I mean, worst case scenario, I'll just turn the difficulty down or something.
Yeah.
I'm always a difficulty up kind of guy, and Brian always
This again.
has like a thing about that. So I don't know.
I say you play it on the normal standard difficulty. If it's too easy, they balanced it wrong. If
Right.
it's too hard, they balanced it wrong.
So then you shouldn't make any changes, and then just blame it on them. Is that what you're saying?
I think so. Like I beat Kingdom Hearts 2 on Norbert.
Norbert.
I can't wait for
difficulty.
Kingdom Hearts 3 where we can finally find out what normers are.
It's part of the lore.
That is
the
probably
next,
a
that's the
new,
next iteration of.
It's probably a new character
Sora's
they're
soul.
making of.
It's the
Um,
Normer
it's-
ship. It's the new gummy ship.
But no, Kingdom Hearts 1 on normal was actually really challenging and fun, and there was opportunities where you die. Kingdom Hearts 2, I want to say I beat Sephiroth like the hardest boss in 2 or 3 tries on normal. Like
Kingdom Hearts 2 is easier.
it is, and like for me, that's like kind of a balancing issue on their part. Like if you play the game on normal, that's the standard that they want you to
But
play.
did
it at.
you want to beat Sephiroth in Kingdom Hearts 1 after trying it forever? Like,
No, I mean I didn't want it to be that hard, but I
mean,
did.
it's like Final Fantasy 12 with the one
that
boss.
stupid boss. I'll never
It's
beat
like
that.
everything in the game on normal is super manageable
Yeah, and that-
except for that.
But that's what I'm saying. That's a balancing issue. Like they should have, and that's something where the guy just wanted to be dumb and say, "Hey, this guy's gonna have 1,000,000 HP. Fight him for 2 hours or whatever."
Is he a side boss at least?
Yeah. You don't have to
Okay.
beat him to beat the game, but it's kind of like they give you these trophies before they had achievements and trophies in games, and that I feel like
The
he gets
Sky
his own.
Pirates Den.
Yeah, he gets his own trophies. That's why I always wanted that game to come to. Well, it came out on PS4 finally, but always wanted to come to Xbox because I wanted achievements for it. Anyways, what else have you been playing? We got detracted from that.
I think that's it. Mostly, I mean, I played a little bit of Path of Exile in the last couple of weeks as well.
You get further. What level are you now?
I'm like 37. I'm working on unlocking the first round of like points for your class upgrade.
Oh, okay. That's where you choose one of 3 specializations, right?
Yeah, and you have to defeat this dungeon on different difficulty levels to get more points for
Oh, okay.
like the tree that specific tree.
Okay.
3.
Did you beat any of the what act are you at in the game? Oh, okay,
I'm
and that's
almost
when
on
you can
Act 4,
start
yeah.
doing the dungeon already.
Yeah, because you have to. There's a trial. There's 1 in Act 1, 1 in Act 2, or 2 in Act 2, and then 3 in Act 3.
Okay.
And when you explore other dungeons, there'll be a section of it that has like it's not platforming because there's no jumping.
Yeah.
But it's essentially like a platform maze where it's like spikes, and you have to
Oh.
like make sure you run timed so that you don't get killed by spikes or flames or whatever.
Do they kill you in one hit?
No.
Oh,
But if you get trapped, I mean, if you screw up majorly, you'll
die,
tank. Yeah.
Diablo 3 has those, but I just kind of run through them because
They're-
it's so
they're-
powerful. It
they're-
doesn't matter.
They're really not that challenging. They don't let you. I mean, it would be hard because I don't know if in Diablo they have like if you spend a lot of time in low level areas, like you stop earning experience at some point.
I think the monsters level up with you.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure.
I don't think they do.
I don't think they do either because
Yeah.
we played 6-player and I went through the first place a lot of times and I don't think I got any experience.
Yeah. So when you go through, like, you're not going to level to like an overpowered level when you get to those places. But they're not super unmanageable. The hardest parts are the corrupted areas so far because they have like it's like a zone where the enemies are buffed or you're debuffed, and then the bosses are pretty hard. but there's super good rewards.
Yeah,
That's
I think,
cool.
I think that game for being free to play is fairly amazing. It's one of the better free to play games.
Yeah, I agree.
I think they could have easily charged $30 or $40 and said, "Hey, this is like," because I mean that's still $20 cheaper than Diablo, and it's got 6-player co-op and a bunch of other stuff.
I think
Yeah.
5 years ago they could have charged
Yeah.
30 or $40 for it.
The game
But
came out 5 years ago or something.
did it?
Yeah,
It's not new. Yeah.
It's just
Yeah.
new to Xbox One.
yeah, just new. But
yeah,
it,
because it came out. I think it came out either before Diablo 3 or around
I
the same
think
time.
I think yeah,
Because
around
it was that was the buzz. I think it's Diablo 2 people that made it,
Oh, okay.
which is why part of
Yeah.
why it's super popular, because people that care about that.
Mhm.
Like,
Yeah.
Oh.
It's weird because I definitely think I fall more in the Diablo 2 camp where I like the skill tree and all that stuff. But
Oh, hate that skill
going
tree.
back, like with how quick Diablo 3 moves, it is hard to be like, oh man, this is the better one. Where it's really Diablo 2 is really slow. You know, you just slowly
Yeah.
click and attack. Davey, my boy, what you been playing?
Well, I was also playing a little of Path of Exile.
Nice,
And I was playing it in conjunction with Diablo 3.
which
and
is a hard
I know.
switch.
I was thinking that if I wasn't playing Diablo 3 and just picked up Path of Exile, I would have gotten into it a lot quicker. But it just wasn't as smooth and wasn't as polished, and I just didn't want to play a game that was so similar. But it was just too easy for me to identify
oh for sure.
things
They're-
that it wasn't as polished and whatever. But I still like the game though, and definitely what you're saying for a free to play game, it's awesome. And I also love the fact that you don't have to invest $60 in order to be
Yeah.
decent at it. And that's honestly one of the reasons why I don't play Hearthstone anymore, because I've been out of it for like a few seasons now.
Missed that game.
And dude, I have no idea what's going on. I don't know any of the cards do.
They added Death Knights, but not as a character class. It's like a new card. I don't know. I've been reading a little bit about it, but I fell off when they started doing Dinosaurs, which was 2 or 3 expansions ago now.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Bestiality mode to it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Beast
Doing dinosaurs.
Beast
Yeah.
reality.
Beast Reality. But yeah, I don't know. I could continue though. Yeah, Hearthstone's just it's sad to me because I love that game. Played for 2 years.
Yeah, I love Hearthstone. Anyways, the other games I've been playing, I just kind of mentioned the two. The other game I just recently picked up is Life is Strange.
That's what I want to hear about.
There you go.
There you go.
No, sorry. No, I'm in the second episode. It's cool. I like it. It's very nostalgic of like high school, like Degrassi-ish type stuff meets I guess like a Stranger Things vibe to it, like J.J. Abrams type thing.
I think
maybe.
this is sorry, I should probably move this. I think this is like a sequel too, because it's an old. Life is Strange was an old one, right?
No, Life is Strange. Yeah, Life is Strange is 2013
13.
or 14.
No. There's an old one before that. I think.
Oh, I don't even know about that.
I don't think so. You're talking about Remember Me.
No, I'm not talking about Remember Me. I'm talking
Okay.
about when Life is Strange was a computer game. I think
All right, well, check that out.
Oh, I'm not playing that one. I'm playing this one.
Yeah, you're playing the Xbox.
that one was free on Xbox earlier this year, right?
The first episode. I
yeah,
think.
well, the first episode's free permanently, but
Oh,
I
okay.
think maybe the whole thing might have been free with gold.
Yeah, maybe that's 5 episodes. That's like 20
It's
bucks.
been $10 so
Oh,
many
yeah?
times, so I wouldn't be surprised if they gave it away
It's
for
worth
free.
$20. I'm gonna pay full price for it. It's really fun.
Well, didn't you already?
No, you have to buy it in episodes.
Oh, no,
You can't-
no.
No, I
There-
tried. You can't buy it
Really?
unless you have a code.
Oh,
Yeah, it's
weird.
really strange.
That's
Life
like-
is strange, right?
Life is strange, man.
Yeah, I tried and it wouldn't let me. So
What do you think of Chloe?
it's
Because
actually
that's
cheaper to buy it in episodes, though. It's 3 cents cheaper. I did the math.
that's such a weird. Well, you're saving
what do I
that
think of
money.
Chloe?
What are you gonna do with that whole 15 cents
Just
when you're
invest
done?
it in the stocks. Segway.
Well, I guess technically 12 cents because the first one was free. So
Anyways, what do I think of Chloe?
yeah, the one that the new game's based on.
I really like Chloe because, I mean, at first I hated her.
Yeah.
But she kind of makes you work for her friendship. And honestly, a lot of the characters in that game are more hateable than Chloe, in my opinion.
Really?
You go to school with a lot of really mean people and very strange people. And so when you become friends with Chloe again, it was nice. Like I actually don't mind her. She
Yeah.
is annoying though.
How is the time traveling mechanic? I don't play many adventure games anymore, but how is the time traveling mechanic in that one? Because that's kind of the interesting part of it.
It's basically if you made quick saving in Morrowind or Skyrim a mechanic in the game. It's just like
Oh.
a quicker, much faster way to do it. But sometimes they like do some obligatory time stuff just to do it. So, for example, you'll have to hide somewhere really quickly, or you'll have to pick something up. And there will be sort of a hidden object in front of you. And if you go and directly do the thing that you need to, something else will get in your way. So, for example, you need to pick up a book that's on a desk or something like that. and there is a half-empty glass of soda right next to it. If you just grab the book directly, the soda will spill on the book.
Oh, my
And then you have to
goodness.
rewind time, and it's like things that are dumb. Like,
Does
you
at least
don't
let
need to.
you fast forward that part? So like you just click the grab.
Not
and
on
it's like,
those, but you can. The mechanic is actually really fun when you're in big situations.
Okay.
The decisions that will impact the game basically. So you'll go through the cutscene, and then there'll be two options, like do you do A or do you do B? And if you choose incorrectly, it'll tell you, not incorrectly, but it will tell you like what you did and hint at what the consequences are. And then if you want to do it again, you just rewind, and then you can skip and fast forward through all that dialogue to get to the decision-making process again, which is fun because you can see how the main character reacts, and you can see how the subject reacts to the choices that you make.
Yeah, I've always found that to be like an interesting mechanic. I never got into Telltale games, but I've heard Life is Strange is great. Donna, did you end up getting Life is Strange? I feel like we've talked about this a
I've
lot of
never
times.
played it. It was free at some point, and I got it. But it might have been the 360 version that was free.
I don't think it's on 360, man. I think
Yep,
it's
it's on 360.
It definitely could be.
It
Yeah,
came
it's
out.
not.
It came out 3 years ago or 2
Yeah,
years
it's
ago.
2013.
really.
Yeah.
Okay. I keep thinking.
No,
it
it's
was,
2015.
oh, okay. Yeah,
you
then
sure?
it wouldn't be on
I'm
360.
looking at Life is Strange. Yeah, no, it's on 360.
Okay.
Really?
It's on Linux, Windows, Mac, PlayStation 3 and 4, and 360 and Xbox One.
Wow. Okay. I thought by 2015 we had pretty much dropped Xbox 360, but I forgot about that.
I don't think so.
Because Shadows of Mordor was the last game I remember, and that was 2014. And
Yeah.
that was like that and Dragon Age.
But there is a prequel,
There is. Are you
But-
talking about the
and there's
game
a
that just
sequel
came
as
out?
well. But no, I must have read something in an article that made it seem like it was bringing back like an old series or something.
Okay.
But I think one of the guys worked on Gone Home.
Yeah, that company is.
I could see that.
Yeah, and well, I mean,
And
Gone Home's
then
so
watch
great.
Twin Peaks 100 times before they made the game.
Oh, I want to see Twin Peaks.
No,
Well,
you do not.
I do.
No.
I do.
The new Twin Peaks or the old Twin Peaks?
I've never seen any of them.
Oh,
I want to
gosh.
watch them on Netflix. But we'll talk about TV in a second. I want to tell you guys what I've been playing.
Okay. Yeah, that's fine.
There's no Josh here. Oh my
With his
goodness.
balls.
I'm forgetting. I'm used to like having somebody.
He's got a mobile games.
I love that you're wasting the same amount of time that we would have normally.
Well, I'm not used to
It's a
this.
mobile.
Okay, I'm sorry.
It's a mobile tapper. He
a
just
mobile-
taps his
it's a
balls
mobile
over
tapper.
and over
I
again.
just tap, 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 tap.
Yeah.
Is that free to
Um,
play or
called,
free to win?
It's free. It's pay to win if you
Pay to
do
win.
have cancer. So
if you do,
Yeah.
Wow.
It's a
you're
really
set.
it's
because
very.
you got to pay to get that checked.
Right. You
You
gotta pay.
get that check. No, what I've been playing is still Mario plus Rabbids. Talked about that a little bit. Originally, I was kind of like iffy on it. I've grown to love it, and then I've kind of gone over this hill where it was super duper fun, and now it's gotten like ridiculously difficult and challenging.
Oh, just
And
throw
I-
it away. It's the imbalance. It's a
Oh my
balance
gosh,
issue.
This sounds like a balance issue.
Yeah, I know,
Yeah.
right? You play it on normal. If it doesn't work right, throw it in the trash.
Oh man, as soon as it gets hard.
I never
Shrink wrap it and
said
sell it back to
that.
GameStop.
I
Yeah.
never said that. That is a good idea. Which GameStop wouldn't take it anyways. But they'd probably give you 10 cents for it. They'd be like, "Oh, you spent $60 on this? Here's 10. Here's a dime."
and try to sell it back to you.
Do you want it for $55.99 or $59.98?
So you hate the game now?
No,
Just like Prey or
No, I like it quite a bit. It's just hard to want to finish it because the game's really good about checkpointing most of the time. But I'm at a battle where you fight one battle, it launches you into the next battle with a boss that's incredibly difficult. And if you lose that battle, you have to fight the first battle again before you fight the boss. So you have to at least spend 10 to 15 minutes fighting one battle before you get to another, and the boss kills you instantly if he hits any of your guys.
Huh.
So the whole challenge is you're trying to get your guys in rows around him that are able to shoot him, and then he comes running at you if you do any attacks on him. So you've got to kind of keep pulling at
is
him.
part of this your desire to not have any characters die in the fight?
No, because that
It doesn't matter in
I've
this
got-
game? 'Cause
yeah,
it's not
yeah.
like, what was it, Fire Emblem, that
Yeah,
if they
Fire
die,
Emblem
they're
or
permanent?
XCOM. Yeah.
XCOM. Fire Emblem,
Fire-
you can turn
you can
that
choose
off.
that, yeah, now. But no, it's not like that. I mean, you do get more gold, which you use to buy stuff if you get it. But I don't care about that. I'm fine if I get one guy alive and beat this. I'm fine. But he just kills your guys instantly. So
Who's in your party right now?
I have Mario. Well, I mean, you can switch whoever you want in. But right now, my mains that I've been trying with is Mario, Luigi.
Tell me
and-
about who you can switch in first.
and Rabid Mario. But I think next time I'm going to try is Mario, Luigi, Rabid Yoshi. Because I haven't got real Yoshi yet. I'm assuming he's right around the corner because he's my last character to unlock. I'm at the end of the game. But yeah, there's Mario, Luigi, Peach, and Yoshi, and then there's Rabid Mario, Rabid Luigi, Rabid Peach, and Rabid Yoshi. It is the weirdest.
Are there just straight rabbits as well?
Yeah, those are the ones you're fighting.
Oh.
And then there's also rabbits who are just doing silly things like going to the bathroom and rubbing their butts on stuff. Like literally, this is part of the
Sounds
game.
a lot like your mobile game.
Yeah, it's my mobile game that I made up.
Inspired.
But beyond that, I played a little bit of Destiny 2, not enough to really get.
Now I want to point out the lack of Peach usage because she's always the best character.
So I want to use her.
Except in Mario Kart or
Are
any
you
other
kidding
game.
me?
Yeah. So I
Was
want to use
Pitchy,
her,
Poppy.
but Mario plus Rabbids won't allow you to use 3 human characters.
Right.
So they force you
It's
to
like
have
an
a rabbit
affirmative
character.
action, affirmative wabbit action.
Yeah.
It's actually yeah.
Yeah.
It would be. They are forcing you to use another race. It doesn't matter about gender.
Yeah, and they you have to have Mario in your party. Luigi is the only sniper in the game, so I'm
Oh,
like
so your
kind of
team
stuck.
is pretty pre-picked then, right?
Well, I mean, you could not have Luigi in some battles; it won't matter. But when you have a boss that if he gets near you, kills you instantly, you need like the long range guy, or else you can't beat him. The negative thing is Luigi also has the lowest health, so you're constantly battling. Like if anybody shoots him, he dies, and once they die, there's no way to heal him. But Peach can heal, so it's kind of like this. I really want her in my party, but she can heal and she's short range, so she
See,
has like a shotgun.
They made in Super Mario Run, Luigi is hands down the best character, so he's got his time.
Yeah.
Ditches
Yeah.
for Peach.
Well, don't you remember Year Luigi a few years ago from
I do.
Nintendo? It's the silliest. I think the only thing that came out was Luigi's Mansion: Dark Side of the Moon that year, and it was somehow
And
called
new Super Luigi Brothers or
Oh
whatever.
yeah,
Oh,
the
yeah.
DLC for the Wii U game that everyone bought.
And that Mario Kart meme with Luigi's angry face.
Oh, that's in this game. That is in this game. He also dabs, I think is the dance move it's called. And-
Dabbing?
Yeah, that. Yep. Everybody who's watching this
the listener,
live.
Jake just saw that.
Jake, we know you're out there, my bro.
We know
miss
you're up
you.
there, Jake.
But yeah, it's a good game. I do want to mention Destiny 2 real quick. So I beat the first mission, and then it puts you in like this social zone called the farm, and it's a lot better than the previous Destiny because
I heard it was interesting because I remember you were saying that you played Destiny 2 for 10 hours and realized it was just Destiny 1.
I played for 10 minutes, but 10 hours, 10 minutes is probably.
What does the farm do? Is it like a hub world?
It's
type?
yeah. So in Destiny 1, they only had one hub in the entire game. So you go
could
to these,
say you bought the farm.
yeah. So you can
Oh,
say you
wow.
bought the farm. So they had one hub. It was called the Citadel, I want to say, or something like sci-fi like that. And you go there, pick up your quests, you do all your
Like the
stuff.
Mass Effect Citadel.
Yeah, I think
No
it
relation.
might have been called.
relation.
What if it was?
Might have been called the Tower or something
What
like
if
that.
everyone,
but it-
all of your dead characters in Destiny become keepers?
yeah, that'd be awesome, man. That's a Mass Effect reference. I actually don't remember
That'd be
or
awesome.
don't
The little
know.
frog guys who
Work on repairs for the Citadel?
and no one knows who they are, how they
I
got
don't.
there.
Was this in Mass Effect 1?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they're in Mass Effect 1, but I think you learn about them more in 2 or
I don't remember
Well, they're
these
definitely
characters.
in 1.
Yeah.
Okay, well,
They look like chameleon frog boy men.
Yeah.
the only character
They look like those robots in Star Wars, the bad ones, the prequels, where the robots that like roll,
Oh,
the
but
droid
they
Decals.
don't roll. They're just when they're like open, they look like that kind of.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't remember them. I do remember that.
I imagine them all talking like the grasshopper from Rescuers.
Pea soup. Pea soup. I think the only character I remember that they kind of cut out of Mass Effect was after one was Elcor. Like I feel like they're no longer in any of the Mass Effects. Like you maybe run across one of them.
Yeah.
No, there's a lot of side quests with Elcor. I mean, they're hard. They're like floating jelly elephants.
No,
Yeah, I
those
like
are the
them.
those are the Malcor. The Elcor
I thought.
are the big guys who don't have emotions. And
yeah,
their
those
inflections
guys.
in
And
their
Yeah.
they
voices.
say
Like the Malkar are the
What
are
is
like
the
the jelly
Malkor?
guys.
I'm thinking of. Hold on, this
You're
is.
thinking like the Hanar.
Oh, I'm thinking-
I am-
I'm thinking of
I am
the
thinking-
Hanar.
I'm
Oh,
thinking
okay.
of the Hanar.
Okay, Hanar are the pink dudes.
they're the guys who have no emotion, and they say
This
serious.
One, they no, those are the Elcor.
Oh, okay, I
The
like
the,
those
the
guys.
Hanar say this one thinks this.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't
But the
remember.
Elcor-
I was thinking of the Hanar, but the Elcor they have those in the other games too. Those are the elephant-looking guys.
Yeah.
I feel like you don't see them after Mass Effect 1. Like
Not
I
as
didn't,
much.
I didn't play Andromeda very much.
They probably didn't
like,
test
hated
well.
They don't have.
Like-
They don't have like really any of the aliens in it.
And I think
and
they
like
explain-
Volus or
I think they explained the most awesome way ever where like their spaceship got missing or something
Yeah.
like that. So it didn't travel with the rest of the races. I
Wait,
just
isn't
love that. that.
Isn't that a giant bombcast bit when they're talking about like what the DLC will be for Andromeda
that they
before it was
finally-
not announced?
that they all caught up.
Yeah.
I don't know, but I just love that idea.
I would love to play a Hanar in a game,
It would just be fun if you got a hand
especially
on your
if you could do romances.
You just hold like 9 guns because
This one is being aroused.
Oh man, that's thinking about a great game that's sadly no longer a great series. But
not
no,
from one game. It's still a good series.
It doesn't. Andromeda doesn't really count.
Star Wars is still a good series. Star Wars had 3 bad movies.
yeah, I mean, I guess we could call it a good series. I do like 4, 5, 6.
about
and
Mass
seven.
Effect?
Mass Effect.
Mass Effect.
Mass Effect.
Mass Effect.
Mass Effect.
Mass Effect Andromeda is like when you have a gold series and then you're like, it's like, your dumb uncle's like, hey, can I write a story in your universe? And
Has
he's
this happened to you?
never written before in his life.
He doesn't even know what a book is.
He hasn't had a job in years.
And he writes a children's novel
Yeah.
for adults.
Based on your lore, and that's all Mass Effect Andromeda is.
That
Because that's the team they gave it to at BioWare. They're like, hey, this is our biggest series right now. Let's give it to our bad designers.
Sheila, can we get the uncles in?
what's a game? Like, you want to make a new
A
Mass Effect
game?
game? Yeah. Let's Google what a game is first. No, but yeah.
we have a friend that likes everything.
Oh
Like,
yeah,
and he doesn't like. He's like, it crushed my soul.
I don't know.
I've only
how
heard
you-
him say that phrase one other time, and it was for that dinosaur movie with Whoopi Goldberg.
He does love everything. He's somebody who will give every single. He was like the guy who, before Shadow of Mordor came out, got reviews. Was like, I can't wait to play it. And you're like, this looks like Assassin's Creed. How could anybody be excited to play a crappy Assassin's Creed ripoff? And
Wait a
then it
minute,
being-
Shadow of Mordor is amazing.
Well, before I think
he
there
came
was
out.
bugs.
Yeah, he came out. He was like way into it. He was like, I remember talking to him months before the game came out. Oh man, I can't wait for Shadow of Mordor. And
I mean,
like,
I think I didn't have a
what?
system for it at that time, but I was in that boat because I thought the Assassin's Creed well dried up somewhere between 1
but that's
and 2.
why I thought it looked dumb, because it just looked like another one of those games they were making, and then you kind
But
of.
I meant, see, I don't think there's anything wrong with that game concept. I just think the Assassin's Creed games in particular are bad.
And that's what he's saying.
Yeah.
And that's why he's saying he wasn't stoked for it.
I was kind of over it, because that was by I want to say Shadow of Mordor came out with Assassin's Creed 4. I know we're like getting off into weird stuff anyways now, but when
Getting off into weird stuff.
yeah, in case you guys didn't hear that, he said you love getting off into weird stuff. I like.
Because he was far from the mic.
Yeah, he's far away
Oh,
from the mic.
okay.
I just wanted to get all of our listeners in on that. But
to help them.
You to
It's like,
help
what is that
them.
Sunny episode where Dennis is like, I'm going to help you. Get off."
I don't know if you get.
Oh yeah,
off.
where he pretends to be Brian Lefebvre.
Yeah.
We're gonna be getting off. Okay.
You gotta get under his skin.
But anyways, we're gonna take a quick breaky poo. We're gonna come back with some stock, some news, and some sweet other jazz. Badooch.
Hey everyone, venture into the pop culture cosmos today, where you'll hear our conversations on different topics within the world of movies, TV, video games, comic books, technology, board gaming, and more. You'll also get a taste of some of our other shows within the cosmos as well. So come on and join us each week as we delve into the pop culture cosmos.
Welcome to the Pop Culture Cosmos.
And we are back, ready to break some bread, my bros. This is gonna be really, really cool. We haven't done this for a while, but Davey's been gone, and we won't be keeping up to date with what we've been gaining and all that sweet stuff that we have in the ledger. But
Oh, we need to do our bet.
yeah, we didn't do
forgot
a
to
bet.
the
Well, we got to bring Donna in on that bet. So let's just get
Okay.
back to that
Bet
sweet,
you guys forget
sweet
about it again.
stock
We probably will.
corner. Lay it on me.
Okay. Do you guys want to hear about Nintendo?
Of course.
All right. So they closed today at $43.04.
Is that? I feel like that's lower than the last time we talked about them.
Their high was in July and it was $44.25.
Oh, so it's not really.
No, I mean like they've been just kind of fluctuating between like mid 40s to high 30s for the past month and a half. Nothing too crazy going on with them, despite all the. I think they got some bad press for like the Nintendo, the Super
Nintendo
console.
We'll
and, like,
have-
just not being able to support it. And
There's
all
like
that.
a ton of stuff in the news we'll talk about Nintendo because yeah. But anyways, continue.
Yeah, I was just saying, despite all that stuff, nothing's really changed too much with them. Same with Activision. Oh, Activision's been on an upward trend. They closed today down, but so far they've had a pretty good 2017.
Of course, Activision's stock is not in dollars; it's in children's souls.
Right, exactly.
They trade
So-
children's souls and they
'Cause they're-
hate humanity.
Since they're evil.
Well, I'm loyal to Blizz, so I know that it's pretty separated in terms of management. Yeah, Activision has say at the end of the day, but there's a lot of autonomy there for a subsidiary.
Blizzard is like Snow White living in the castle of that bitch.
Exactly.
Just
know.
like the movie, man.
If I had a
That
dollar.
Activision keeps making Call of Duty eat that transformation, spell, and
Yeah.
he's trying to give everyone apples.
Man, that's all
Apples
they
of
do.
death. And then some random dude has to kiss him.
I gotta kiss them.
Is the kisser the new acquirer of Blizzard in this analogy? Like if someone were to reacquire Blizzard from Activision,
Yeah.
Yeah.
who would you be okay with doing that?
Actually, be weird if they didn't buy themselves out and they got reacquired.
Yeah, that would be weird.
ZeniMax.
ZeniMax. Do they make TVs or apps?
No, they own Bethesda.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm thinking of Zenith.
Wait. So ZeniMax, are they owned by 2K or Take Two?
No.
Okay.
I don't think so.
Okay, because
I mean, I
thought
don't
they were
quote
all
me on
related
that, but
to each other.
no, I think ZeniMax. Well, ZeniMax, didn't they buy a 2K and turn it into Arcane or whatever? Like
I
2K.
don't- Well, 2K is a giant publisher. They're the ones who make like Mafia 3.
Right. No, I
and
know
all
that.
So I
But
don't.
one of the Take-Twos made one of the BioShock games.
Yeah. But is Bethesda? They don't own BioShock though. I think 2K is separate from. Yeah,
No,
you're
I
probably
know
right.
that.
ZeniMax is probably separate from all this
Because
stuff.
ZeniMax owns the company that makes the Elder Scrolls Online game
Yeah.
as well. But they're also kind of a bitch of a company too. They did that whole thing where the guy from Minecraft, they sued him for his game title being
Oh yeah.
Scrolls.
Oh, that was so dumb. They do that
Yeah.
a lot for their games.
ZeniMax owns a ton of game studios, actually.
We got a lot to talk about them in the news today. But what about them stocky wise? Anything cool?
About Activision?
What's nice about
Activision or
ZeniMax
ZeniMax?
is that they don't really have an identity
Yeah.
like Activision. Like when you think
Yeah.
Activision, you think like
Bobby Kotick.
you think Bobby Kotick, you think like Call of Duty rehashes.
Yeah.
He's just like a bat. With ZeniMax, they're just like a entity that own like you think Bethesda.
Yeah.
Like,
And as many problems as Bethesda's newer games have been having, like, I feel like they're still allowed to make the games they want to
yeah.
make.
It technically
which is cool.
so is Blizzard. And Blizzard has
Yeah.
its own identity separate from Activision, of course, but
Aside from this table, who thinks Bethesda has problems? Because Fallout 4 was widely successful, wasn't it?
Yeah.
it was pretty clear critically not that
Yeah, it was critically
successful.
panned, but it
Because
was
of the-
successful as a
Yeah.
as
yeah,
a
it
money
was
making
still
thing.
it still
Yeah.
made money, right?
Yeah, I mean it's like a
Yeah.
movie getting bad reviews but still selling a ton
Yeah.
of tickets.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
The bigger problem, I think, when that stuff happens, isn't like the game that comes out. It's the next game. Is that they now had this game that got bad reviews, and then the people who also agreed with those reviewers might not buy Fallout 5. Do you know what I mean?
Not
That's
right away.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see.
Fallout
I mean,
5, there's still an Elder Scrolls in between there, right?
hopefully,
hopefully, yeah.
They're being really weird about that one.
I mean, there's so much ZeniMax. We'll cover
But
that.
there's a
stuff
lot of
pretty-
there's a lot of Fallout 4 hate, more so than like because
Yeah.
Fallout 3 has a lot of hate from like hardcore
yeah,
Fallout
hardcore
fans.
but
Old
most
school
people
Fallout
love
fans.
it. Like I love
but
it.
it's an awesome game, and then like those are the people that myself included that worship New Vegas. But Fallout 4, like even Fallout 3 fans hate it because it's like
yeah,
it's just there's a lot of unnecessary stuff in it.
Yeah,
I mean, we've all played it.
Yeah, I played probably 30 hours of Fallout 4, and I just couldn't. Like
Yeah.
once I got introduced to the whole house building Sims stuff, I just barfed and put it away.
That's
Yeah.
kind of. I'm at the same thing. I played
It's like
about
the
30 to
modern-day
40
gummy ship.
hours.
for
yeah,
you.
exactly.
But no, I hate doing it. It's like micromanage. It's just
Yeah.
It's
it's
just
not fun.
not fun.
And
at
they
all.
didn't level. They didn't do a good job of like organizing areas in that game because
Yeah.
it was when you want to free explore like you're supposed to do in a Fallout game. Like you don't want to get quests all over the place and then try and do any of them and
Yes.
just die constantly.
Yeah, I felt that way too.
And then you also don't want to go somewhere and then have a settlement get attacked immediately, and then you have to go warp
Yeah.
to the settlement and then save it.
Yeah, it was
oh
dumb.
man.
Yeah, I mean, my greatest fear I've already mentioned on this podcast is that I heard that they wanted to put that kind of shiz in Skyrim.
Ah man.
And if they do that in the next Elder Scrolls, it's going to be the worst game.
That would be terrible. I would hope because Bethesda is so, I think, responsive to fan type stuff and they're very sensitive to what people want, i.e. giving people like map editors or whatever when like with the older Elder Scrolls games. I don't think that they would do that. I think that would be
I hope
Why?
not.
Okay, because so ZeniMax owns them. Like Activision doesn't own them.
But-
EA doesn't own them.
Yeah, but the reason why I go is just because, like, recently, and I do want to I want to ask you a stock question in a second, but recently they created the Creators Club. Do you guys know that?
Creation Club, I think.
Creation Club? Yeah, okay. It's either Creation or Creators.
sacrilegious.
But it's paid mods. And from what I've understand as of right now, it's okay. They allow you still to download free mods and they allow pay mods. But the fear that a lot of people have is that in the future they won't allow free mods and they'll only allow paid mod content. And I mean it makes sense as a business to do that. You know, like this is stuff that people are making. Why not also monetize it? But
monetize it.
Well, this is
monetize
it's
it.
only a console reality because there's always going to be people making mods on PC.
Yeah. PC market's always harder to do, but the thing is, Bethesda's also allowed console players for the first time ever to I mean, they've done a lot of great things. They allow console players to download mods, like
Yeah.
Fallout 4 and the Skyrim remaster, or whatever, are the only console games that allow you to mod the game, and I think that's pretty awesome.
Yeah, it's really cool.
Yeah.
So I'm just worried though for the future because ZeniMax is getting bigger and bigger and bigger.
What? Okay, do people actually like it? Because what if they just turned it on? Like, what if it was just a mode you could have? You could have like settlement mode. Or
Well, that's what I would hope, that it would be like a DLC.
Yeah.
Because when it's required, that's the
Yeah.
problem. I mean,
Yeah, if it's in the game, like if Fallout 4 didn't have half of the missions where you had to build stuff to finish the mission,
and
I
there
could have cared less.
There are people that like it. you
Yeah.
know?
yeah. Well, then okay. For
And
those
it
people-
would be in. I can imagine settlement building. I hate the micromanagement of like, oh, your settlement's attacked. It's like, well, I'm freaking busy right now.
yeah, I'm
Yeah.
doing stuff. It's not
That's
like I'm
annoying. But I imagine that the interfacing of settlement building is a lot kinder on PC than it is on console.
Yeah, I can definitely see that.
Yeah.
Because I played Fallout 4 on console, and
Yeah, and I think it'd be better. And mods do a few things that make Fallout 4 a lot more bearable. Like you can turn off the weight limit, which in Fallout 4 was unbearable because you'd be traveling
It's
around and you
really
want to pick up
low.
stuff and
yeah,
you'd instantly run out of space. The negative about that is if you're an Achievo hunter like me, the second you turn on mods, it bans all
Yeah.
achievements and trophies. It makes sense, though, because
Yeah.
you get all the stuff. Real quick, though, before we exit stocks totally, I want to know, did Activision go up this week? Because of Destiny 2. Like we mentioned, it came out and it's got a huge player base.
There's a company that no longer has an identity, is Bungie.
Yeah, man, it's so weird. But, I mean, Destiny
Bungie is completely lost in the ballsack of Activision.
yeah, it's a game. I mean, I still think Destiny has great shooting mechanics, but
It's
just,
not that the game is not designed well. It's just that, like,
yeah, it just doesn't feel like it's its own thing.
like even in reading all the stuff about Destiny 2 this week, I didn't even remember. Like, I didn't think of the company Bungie once.
Yeah, it just feels like it's Activision.
so their stock did go up, but it was mostly in connection with their earnings, which were
Okay.
really positive. What?
When will we see winter earnings? Sorry about cutting you off.
Oh, they did their earnings in the summer. August 3rd was when they announced their earnings, and their stock has gone up 7.6% since then. So
Yeah.
their stock is on an upward trend, but like there wasn't a direct correlation to
Destiny.
Destiny 2.
Mm-hmm.
It's video game stocks are strange because I think we talked about this before. Like it's not so much announcement driven. It's not like day to day. It's a lot of like geopolitical stuff. It's a lot of earnings type things. It also has a lot to do with like what the market is saying. Like, oh, Forbes made a really nasty article about Nintendo today, so they'll take a hit. It's more like that. It's and just because a game is released, I think you need to wait a little bit longer to see what the sales are ultimately going to be.
Yeah,
Because-
people running stocks aren't gamers for a lot
No,
of it.
well,
Yeah.
they're not gamers for one, which is true of almost any investor though, because like you can't be a master of every industry that you invest in. You have to go off of hearsay, trends, geopolitical stuff, things that don't really have an effect on the actual game, and then with a combination of like things that actually do are impacted by the studio. So it's kind of like a weird, like just stocks in general are just kind of weird. But that's why it's not like a direct science like, oh, this game was released today, it will probably do well, their stock should go up. It's not always like that. You'd have to kind of look at like everything as a whole and what the trends are for that particular day.
Yeah, it's still like boggles my mind because I assume their stocks are going to go up higher because Call of Duty World War II is actually kind of, people are looking forward to that. And then Destiny 2 is selling crazy. So But like you said, stocks are really just people's ideas of what something should sell.
Yeah, it's like
so
what
if
it's worth.
Yeah, so if Destiny 2 doesn't meet those numbers, then
And that's really where the quarter analysis will come into place, and like how well they do in the next quarter's earnings, because all of the sales for Destiny 2 will be incorporated in this quarter that's coming up. And if they miss their earnings projections, then their stock will go down most likely.
How much do subreddits affect these stock
that's
earnings?
the sixth factor I
that is
forgot
it.
to mention.
Subreddits, not even the main Reddit, just
Actually,
a smaller subreddit.
One factor, joking seriously, that I did miss is leadership changes.
Oh.
If like a CEO
Leaves.
steps down or is asked to leave or something like that, and they were well liked, or if a CEO or high ranking official sells a ton of their stock, it companies generally take a direct stock hit for that.
Oh.
Now, what about articles from thegamer.com
This is actually what I was going to bring up.
titled 15 Creepy Theories About Your Favorite Nintendo Games?
I think if any of the games of whose studios are publicly traded, there will be a direct correlation.
The Gamer is what stock analysts look for.
They're the Forbes of game studios.
Real quick, tell me what these 15 creepy Nintendo whatever you just said was.
Yeah, did you know, allegedly,
Allegedly.
the Pokemon's coughing and wheezing are the result of failed experiments to synthesize ghost types by Team Rocket?
Oh, man, this guy's getting to the hard truth.
Hey,
I
now
can
listen.
see that.
Now, that may sound like an absurd notion concocted by a nut job, and that might be because it is. Because
Oh my gosh. Are you reading this?
I
or
was
are you-
reading that article,
Wow.
yeah.
Professional.
And here's where this whole article falls apart. But it's not my job to judge the foolish musings of my fellow gamers. Stating right there that this is not like he's digging into Nintendo's shady past. He's just taking fan theories and like making them seem real.
Is this guy just like a subredditor
I
or
think
something?
this has got to be the same guy that wrote that like Square Enix said that Final Fantasy's not all in the same universe, but they're wrong about their own property. Here's 10 theories why. Like,
Do you have more from the Gamer? Because if not, we have one other person that I feel bad making fun of, but it was just too funny, and we got to talk about it this week.
there is another one. Apparently, Shigeru Miyamoto has hinted that every Mario game is just a play and they're all actors because of the curtain in Mario 3.
Yeah, I
No.
read that for like
Yeah, I
1
read
second,
that
and I
too.
just had to.
And I realized
Turn it
it's the
off.
same as Mario no longer being a plumber. I don't care.
Yeah, who cares?
I don't care.
But
that
what
doesn't affect
again,
me.
the evidence that goes to support this is that nobody can save the princess every time.
Wow. You can't argue with that
You
because
can't. That's-
it's nothing.
Yes.
Yeah.
So unless you got another The Gamer, I got
Oh,
to.
I've got 15 of these creepy
Oh.
theories.
We're gonna have to.
we got to skip those. Choose your best one soon. But before we get back
No,
to
they're all
that,
bad.
I want to bring up, did you guys get to watch a clip of someone playing an excellent game coming out actually very soon this month? Cuphead.
Super Cup, Cuphead,
Super
Cuppy,
Cup Cuphead.
Oh yeah.
Cuppy boy. Yeah,
There-
I watched that.
There was a professional
This guy
journalist.
must be a stock investor.
Yeah, and I almost, I don't even want to say his name because he's, you
Say
know.
it.
Why? It's the public
Yeah,
domain.
Dean Takahashi, and he seems
Is dumb.
I read like his article trying to defend himself, and he seems like a really nice guy. But if anybody listening to this gets a chance to watch Cuphead Dean Takahashi on YouTube, within 5 minutes, if you're not laughing at someone playing this,
or if you haven't turned it off.
Before I realized how like that it's actually him being totally bad, I was like, oh man, this game
it's
it's
so
got to be like
hard.
poorly designed. Like the mechanics don't work, and
I was watching it without audio, and I was like, oh, maybe he's just doing a bit, and he's making jokes the whole
Nope.
time, and
Nothing, nobody
I
talking.
mean, that was a brutal tutorial.
That
it was
that
painful.
jump dash thing he had to do.
oh my
eventually.
gosh, that was so bad.
That was like before I understood that he's actually bad, like not even intentionally bad. I thought like, oh man, this game like doesn't work.
You can't do it. You can't jump and
You
dash.
can't beat the tutorial.
I loved it because the tutorial actually looks really well made, where they have a picture showing you how to jump dash and then the buttons right below it.
Yeah.
And it's like all you have to do is like look right ahead
I
and
know.
press those buttons. But I just wanted to bring that up for you, sweet listeners. Please YouTube this.
I'm super excited for that game, though. I
It,
cannot.
it looks
Yeah,
amazing.
it looks awesome.
The co-op, man, there are not a lot of non-Switch games I'm really excited for. I know I've become a Switch biased person recently, but it and Cuphead and South Park South Park Fractured Butthole and PlayerUnknown's Battleground.
$1,000 to buy, by the way.
$1,000.
It's okay.
Speak your grief. It's
Okay.
not that bad.
It's
I'm gonna come up
awful.
with a rebuttal.
Was it
real
like one of
quick.
those early access, pay $80?
No.
No,
If you want to
just listen
buy,
to this.
but if you want to buy, pre-order the digital, not the physical
Deluxe edition?
The deluxe digital edition, which
Okay.
just comes with a season pass and tally. It's $90.
Okay.
Wow.
Okay. But real quick, I
Season
have
pass
to
for that
rebuttal
game?
this because
Rebuttal this. Rebut
there is
this.
the normal aversion, which
Aversion.
is aversion, which is $60,
Okay.
and then the season pass is probably going to be $30 anyways,
Right,
man.
but that's
so
the
it's
whole
like,
point of that's the thing. When you pre-order a deluxe
Yeah, you get a
edition,
deal.
you should be getting a deal.
I mean, no one else does that though.
Yeah,
Like,
everyone else does that.
Destiny didn't. Well, did it by
yeah,
like
of
$10
course not.
or something.
That's
but
what I'm
it's like-
saying. $10. It should be, if it's going to be that, it should be $80.
Who made this? Ubisoft
Because
did, right?
it's not. If it was a physical edition, I would understand.
Yeah, I agree that digital games are way too expensive, but
Yeah.
they don't want to cut their they don't want to get none of the physical retailers like GameStop to stop supporting and selling their stuff.
Right, but I'm just saying for
So-
a digital deluxe edition, it is insanely.
I
It
paid
is
$90
high.
for Destiny. There was one, I forgot which one it was, but there was one deluxe edition for
But
the
how
original.
many?
It was
How much?
$120.
How much like in-game stuff did $90 come with for Destiny?
It came with the 2 DLCs.
See, yeah,
Yeah.
that's actually terrible. Also,
I mean,
but
yeah,
normally,
so-
like when I buy like a Dragon Age deluxe edition, I'm getting like tons of access to like really powerful armor early in the game and all this kind of
Mass
stuff.
Effect armor.
My-
But so you get all that cool stuff.
Yeah. Well,
Which
you get
is-
Tally as a buddy. That's kind of cool. I mean,
Yeah,
like
but
a
that's
whole
one
buddy.
thing. There
Like
should
you don't
be-
even get him unless you pay for the.
Yeah.
I think you can get that though in the normal edition too, right? I think it's
The-
any pre-order bonus gets you the Tally. I hope so.
I don't know. Yeah.
I didn't get a chance to check, but my biggest thing now is after how much I got burned with Destiny 1, I refuse to buy any season passes now before like I hear of all of the content.
That's what I'm saying. A
Yeah.
$90 game had nothing to do with the season pass. It used to be like, even Final Fantasy 15's like deluxe edition.
Yeah. Well, that didn't come with the season pass. That
No,
was
that's
an
what I'm
annoying
saying.
one. Yeah.
I
that was
don't
like
mind if they don't come with a season pass. None of the Dragon Age games came with a season pass, but they came with stuff that made the game worth getting pre-ordered. Like,
Yeah.
You get a soundtrack, you get all this stuff, but this is just a season pass, and it's like exorbitantly expensive.
Well, I don't know, man. I don't want to disagree with you that long. I want to move on, but I just think they're not even the worst offender. Gears of War to me is still the worst. I mean, I love Gears of War 4. I think it's a great game, but to me, they are the worst season or the worst pre-order bonuses ever. Where if you paid for the $90 version of the game, you got it 4 days early. Otherwise, you didn't get
Yeah,
it
that's
early.
terrible.
To me, that's the only thing that Microsoft's been doing that bothers me is that they've recently been doing, hey, if you pay for this game for the deluxe edition, then you get it 5 days early. And there's a lot of people who want to play the games, so they do it, Yeah. But yeah. Anyways, though, I want to actually get into some sweet news. There's been a lot of stuff. We didn't get a chance to talk about this, but an old favorite, Secret of Mana, is getting a re-release, like a remake, actually, for PS4 and Vita.
It does not look that good.
I think it looks okay, and I think it's going to be on Switch, so I'm really
It's a
excited
true
for it.
remake. It's a
We
true
don't-
remake and not a
We
port.
don't know that it's going to be on
I am
Switch.
almost. I mean, we'll talk about the the Nintendo news soon, but I am almost positive it will be. Like everybody and their mothers right now is trying to throw stuff at it. So
But it wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah.
it's gonna be not like it's the same. Basically, over the last until recently, the Mana series, Seiken Densetsu or whatever, has
Yeah.
developed a like really beautiful like art style that's
yeah,
extremely
all those
distinct.
games were on. It was amazing.
Extremely distinct, really gorgeous, really just super cool. Like games like Legend of Mana, Children
Legend of Mana
of
is
Mana.
probably the best. I'd say art style.
even the
amazing.
strategy game Heroes of Mana, they all abided by this like aesthetic that was awesome. And then for these remakes they did with Adventure of Mana,
That's the one that's
Secret of
in-
Mana, they just look like shitty mobile games. And they're just what it is it lacks all of the aesthetic and charm. It looks like it looks fun. It doesn't look bad, but it's like, it's
Yeah.
like a DJ remix of a song that's already good. It's like toned into like different aesthetics that don't really make it better.
I just think compared to like the Final Fantasy VI and Final Fantasy V mobile remakes,
absolutely,
like
yeah.
I think it's so much better. And considering that they put those out, I expect the worst from them.
Yeah.
So
well, the other thing is hopefully it doesn't have the same like physics as the Adventure of Mana remake, because
was that not good? I didn't get a chance to play it.
It has it's cool, and the music's cool, and it's a cool game. But the Sword of they remade that.
Yeah, for Game Boy Advance. I
as
remember
Sword
that.
of Mana
was
with
amazing.
the art style, and that game was amazing. It's
Yeah.
like it's just like disappointing. I think they're just doing this because it's easier money instead of investing into that series, which is like iconic.
Yeah, I'm just excited, I guess, because to me it doesn't mean like Secret of Mana. I can always go back and play Secret of Mana, but now they're re-releasing it, hopefully on Switch. It's going to have the 3-player co-op on systems that it's actually easy to play 3
You have
players
to download
on.
a new app.
You have
for
to
it.
download a new app.
But I mean, the thing is it going to be like how much will like someone like me at least would play it? I'll still get it.
Yeah.
It's a given that I will get this remake.
Well,
but there's probably a chance that I'll play it maybe even halfway or all of it. And then anytime I play that game for the rest of my life, I'm going to play the Super Nintendo version because it looks better.
yeah, and once they bring those classics to Switch or whatever, I think I'll probably agree with you. But if they bring this game to Switch, I'm going to pick it up. But I actually want to get into Nintendo news because you mentioned this in stocks and all the stuff that was going against them, Dave. And they, a lot of people were really upset about the Super SNES Classic, and this could just be them talking because I feel like they've talked in the past, but I feel like they normally don't. And
Nintendo's never talked before.
Well, I feel like they normally don't like say the right stuff, but this time they did. They mentioned that there might be some Switch shortages during the holidays. However, they're bringing back the NES Classic, which is, not like something that I actually wanted, but hey,
A
that's
lot of people
cool.
will buy it,
Yeah,
though.
a lot of people wanted it originally, and I think it's great that they're doing that, and they're extending the SNES Classic.
Extending the amount of time that they were going
Yeah.
to be making it.
Yeah, and they said that you should not buy any scalped ones because they should have them all out by the end of the season, like enough for people.
I would like to get one. I even
Yeah.
have a Raspberry Pi, and I might still get it.
Yeah.
Because the Pi will. I think I just don't trust it. It's a little bit fickle, but it is awesome, obviously. But I would just be able to keep the Nintendo for a lot longer. I feel like
It's only $80. It's like the price of a game, and
The main
half,
issue is
so.
they just didn't do a great job of choosing games for it.
They could
They
have
did
chosen better
they
ones,
did a
but they
pretty good
chose
job.
pretty good.
They
I
don't have
liked-
Secret of Mana. They don't have Chrono Trigger.
No, they have Secret of Mana.
Oh, they do?
don't have Chrono Trigger. That's
Yeah.
the
Oh.
only game
They
that.
don't have. They only.
What
have
else would
Donkey-
you want on there?
They only have Donkey Kong Country 2, right?
No, they only have one. They
Oh.
don't have
What?
2 or 3.
Yeah.
Okay,
So-
I could do without 3, but
So here's the thing. Yeah, there's games like
I couldn't
Uniracers
do
and
without
Clay
3. I
Fighters.
wouldn't play it nearly as often.
I would
but-
pick 3 over some other games on
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
But
Actually,
I don't have to have it.
To be fair, like it's hard to choose over other games because unless you want to get rid of Street Fighter, which is still a pretty good fighting game, the list is pretty solid.
I mean, Street Fighter though, like, are you really
Yeah, but
going to
Street
be
Fighter,
having
there's
buddies
better,
over to
there's
play
better
it?
remakes of Street Fighter.
Yeah, for sure. I'm not disagreeing with that, but I'm just saying like there are very few games I'd actually want to cut from that list. It
I
wasn't
could
like
cut
the
Street
NES
Fighter.
Classic, whereas like there was a ton of games I didn't want at all, and very few I actually wanted.
Well, how did you even play regular Nintendo very often?
I owned one as a kid. That's
so
actually
you,
the first
did you play
system.
like Paperboy and
I
Mario?
played
and
Paperboy. I
stuff?
played Mario. I mean Mario 1, 2, and 3, and Paperboy, and a few others. But yeah, again, NES. I feel like games just aren't as memorable
Is
outside
All-Star
like Mega Man.
on SNES?
No, it's not.
Oh.
Which would be awesome, but
Yeah.
then you'd be getting 4
Yeah,
games, and
that'd
their
been cool.
NES Classic
That'd
would
been
be
smart.
essentially useless.
Yeah.
But
Is
so
Kirby's Dream Land 3?
I think it's
That's like one of
Kirby's
the-
Dream Course, which is one of my favorite.
That's an
games
amazing
ever.
game.
Yeah,
But Dream
So
Land
it's-
3 is like one of the best looking games ever.
So they
about
chose
All-Star?
They chose All Stars and Dream Course, but not Kirby's Dream Land 3, and I can live with that. I love Dream Land 3, but I mean it's like
Kirby's Dream Land 3 is just a Super Nintendo marvel. It
But I
looks
mean-
so good.
But I mean, All Stars and Dream Course are good, and we're only going to put 20 games on it.
love
So
All-Star.
it's like these are hard choices. You know,
Yeah.
they should have made it 30 or 40 or whatever.
They should have
but-
made it pick your own game and pay $100 extra, and
Yeah.
everyone would have gone ape over it. If you could pick the 20 games that you wanted, people
or 30. If it's $100, it should be at
well,
least
whatever
30 or so,
whatever
yeah.
the price was. If you could just pay more to pick your own games,
Yeah.
oh my gosh, that
Yeah,
would be
I would pay
so
like I would
cool.
pay like $300 for that.
Yeah.
I would. Realistically, I'd pay about 120, but I would have to choose at least have 30 games that I could fit
Right.
on this like Super Nintendo.
You want to play 30 Super Nintendo games?
I want to have them if I'm
That's
going to
a
pay
lot of
$120.
games.
Well, we're talking about 20
All right,
games. They're all
okay.
good.
Pick the price for reals. Like, what is the price? Because we said 300, we said 120.
I'd say for me personally, it'd be 120. If it was
If
30
you,
games.
if you had an HD compatible Super Nintendo with 30 games on it, you would only pay $120.
Yeah,
30
I mean,
games that
there's-
you picked.
I got my Super Nintendo at home, and I could easily get like a.
How much longer is that going to last, though?
Those converters don't work
Cartridges
that well.
Cartridges like last. That's why they went back.
Well,
to them.
cartridges work, but the batteries don't last, so you
Yeah.
can't save.
It's not. I mean, it's at least not CD route we're talking about. But okay, for me it'd be 120 still though. So
I would pay 200. I'd pay 200 if I could have. Okay, for 30 games, I'd pay 3. I think.
$300.
I think because I know me and Eli are already playing Chrono Trigger.
Yeah.
And he really, really likes it, actually. So I think I would get it for him. But to do it myself, I would not do it. But for like a Christmas present one year.
To never have to deal with janky converters that don't work and to deal with emulation, that I'd say $300 is totally worth it.
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
I
we're
would.
divided.
Anyways, but need to pick. We don't need
Yeah.
to agree. Why does it
Yeah.
matter?
Well, we need to agree. This is House
It's like we're like daydreaming about something that will never ever
a house
happen.
divided cannot stand. Who said those words? Abraham Lincoln.
Okay. Yeah, you're right. Abraham. Daniel Day-Lewis.
Daniel Day-Lewis, as Abraham Lincoln said those words. Nintendo also had a Nintendo Direct this week, and normally those have been like letdowns for, I think, every time they do them, normally people are bummed out. I would say this one was pretty amazing. Were there any standouts for you guys? Did you guys get a chance to read up on it?
Project Octopath was the biggest standout for me.
Oh, the immediate demo that they released?
Yeah, I mean just the game.
It looks amazing too. So,
Yeah,
in
concept.
case you guys don't know about Project Octopath, it's by Square Enix. It looks like it's a mix of the Romancing Saga games and Bravely Default. It's made by the Bravely Default team. It's a 2D game in like a 3D world in HD. So
That
all
sounds
of the,
cool.
Oh, it looks
It's
amazing.
like a Super Nintendo looking RPG
Yeah.
with great graphics and
That's
8
awesome.
different characters to play 8 different stories through.
Yeah.
Wow, it sounds like they're actually doing something smart for once in their
And
life.
for better or worse, they released a demo immediately so they could get feedback. This could be for better or worse, because if
Depends
the
on who you
wrong
get
if you
feedback
get the minority feedback and it's like, this is terrible, make it so you can't do anything. And it's Romancing Saga.
wearing clothes.
Yeah, it's so.
No, you wouldn't get those kind of like Reddit Sony cocksuckers. You'd get
Yeah.
like Nintendo kids that don't know anything.
Nintendo kids.
So-
Put more rabbits in there.
Yeah.
There's not enough rabbits in this game. For me, I would have to say the thing that, I mean, there's multiple things. Golf Story is a really cool looking RPG. They announced it's coming out this month.
Ooh, Golf Story looks cool.
Yeah, that's awesome. Like, that was a game they had no date on. So, and then they announced Wolfenstein 2 and Doom for Nintendo Switch, which is kind of huge gets, because that means Bethesda is backing Nintendo Switch, which means we could potentially be getting low-res versions of Fallout and the next Elder Scrolls.
Guys, you could get a Skyrim remastered if you play your cards right.
That's what we're already getting November.
That'll be huge. What? Are you really?
Yeah, that's on the Nintendo Switch.
wait,
November.
It's not
is-
remastered though.
It's not the
It's-
remastered.
Okay, well that's why I said remastered.
Oh,
Because they're going to release the normal and then they're going to release the
I
remastered.
don't think Switch can handle
The
it.
Switch can't
It was a
handle.
joke.
Yeah.
It was a joke.
Jake, Dave, let me explain to you something about Switch hardware.
Let me explain jokes real quick.
Let me explain a joke. No, but I think that's great. Like, I'm okay with some things as long as it's like not that terrible. Like, I don't own a 4K TV, and I am okay if it's
1/3 of us here do.
1/3 of us here
Brian,
do.
So.
But it's just like for me, I don't have as much time to sit on my couch anymore. So a game that I can play occasionally when I can, and then pull it off and play wherever I want.
Are we in a Switch commercial right now?
We are
I
in a
feel like
Switch
I'm in a Switch commercial.
I'm sorry, I'm not trying to sell it, but I stick by and
Do
stand
you remember
by that.
when you first got the iPhone and that fateful text you sent me?
It's so easy to use.
I just got the new iPhone. It's so simple to use. Perfect punctuation.
because it's true. Okay.
Oh my gosh. That was the best.
Anything else that stood out for you, Donna?
I wouldn't say that Xenoblade Chronicles 2 stood out.
I think it looks good. I'm
I
excited
think
to
the
play
character design looks awful.
it. Yeah, but I'm still excited to play it. Like
I am still excited to play it too.
Man,
I wish that they were just giving us Xenoblade Chronicles HD.
that'd be cool. I think we might get that. I
Because
think
that's, I mean, they dropped the ball with Xenoblade Chronicles X big
Yeah,
time by
yeah.
giving us the guy that did freaking Attack on Titan instead of the guy that did Chrono Trigger for music.
and
just
I don't know why they
having
do that.
having a make your own protagonist story is never that fun for those kind of games because
Yeah.
it gimps the story.
Then again, I make your own protagonist might be better than Boobs McGee or whoever they have for the side character in Xenoblade Chronicles 2.
Well, the main thing that I don't like in Xenoblade Chronicles 2 is Little Monkey Boy, who's the main character.
yeah, Rex.
Yeah, he just looks bad.
And to be honest, like as excited as I am for the game, I'm glad I got a date. The trailer that they showed makes me almost not want to play the game
Yeah.
because it's like, well, you're a Blade, and to have, or I think Blades might be the support characters.
Yeah, the
you're
only-
a
yeah.
driver.
The only thing that makes me want to get it at this point is Mitsuda doing the music.
Yeah. For me, it's just that, hey, it's an RPG on Nintendo made by like a company Nintendo is, I think it's third party, but still a company Nintendo fully supports. So
Yeah.
probably going to be pretty good. There was a lot more from the Nintendo Direct, but the main thing that my main come away from it is finally that, hey, they sold their 4 or 5 million or whatever they're at right now. Maybe even higher than
Consoles?
that. Yeah, 4 or 5 million consoles. And so people are finally jumping ship. Like there's a new Resident Evil, or not a new Resident Evil, a Resident Evil port coming to Nintendo Switch in November. There's some sports games that people like that. There's Bethesda's Doom and Wolfenstein 2. And to me, that's cool. Like Nintendo has been known for forever because they gimp their hardware to make like cool stuff as like the place that doesn't get any ports. You know, if you get ports, they're...
Didn't the Nintendo Wii U have like 50 kagillion ports?
Yeah, but then as soon as that was like the first, like the release, and then they stopped.
The Wii U had more ports than owners.
The more ports than owners. That might be true. No, but like the original one came with tons of ports, like the
Yeah.
first launch
Yeah,
titles.
the launch titles. There's a million.
And then nobody sold any, so they stopped releasing.
how quickly? Because the Switch hasn't been out for very long, has it?
It's been out since March.
Since March, and it sold 4 to 5 million.
4 or 5 million.
4
Yeah.
or 5 million. I would be interesting to see how many Wii U consoles had been sold at this point.
I don't know, but I know that they capped out at 13 million lifetime. So it's.
But how much of those consoles are sold within the first year? I wonder.
I think they were at 4 or 5 million in their first year, but their first year is from when they released in
Yeah.
November to November. We're at
Right.
March, and they're probably going to hit that
Yeah.
way before March.
What is Nintendo thinks that they're going to sell 15 before the year's over?
That's what they
Before
said
the
before
calendar
March.
year's over.
No,
right?
before March.
Oh, okay, it's the
But
full year.
I don't think they'll be able to do that. Main reason why is there's still not anywhere
Yeah,
you
the
can find.
supply. Yeah, I still have never seen one in a store.
Yeah,
ever.
It's kind of crazy. When we were finding one for a friend, wink, 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 I literally ended up on a trip up north. I called a bunch of Targets. It took me 4 Targets, and then I called and they said, oh, we have 3. We can't hold them for you. By the time I was there 20 minutes later, they had 1.
Yeah.
And I picked up in a town with like 1,000 people, or probably more than that, but like a very small town.
Dingerville.
Dingsville, USA. But yeah, it's crazy, man. I'm rooting for it. Is there any other cool, sweet game news you guys have been reading about? Because I've just been. I mean, the Nintendo stuff was yesterday, so it's kind of been like the main thing on my mind.
Terra Battle 2 comes out next week.
Oh yeah, what about it? Is they talked about it anymore? Or?
Yeah, I mean, they have a pre-register campaign, so if you just sign up to get it when it comes out, it's free, but you just get a bunch of bonus items, so I did that.
You didn't play the first one, did you, Brian?
I played like a couple minutes of it. I
It's
enjoyed
fun.
it, but
I played it for like a long
Yeah.
time for a mobile game.
Yeah,
I
me
played
too.
I played it a lot.
The only mobile game I played for a very long time was Hearthstone, and then I stopped.
Well, I don't
like-
really even count that because it's on PC.
Yeah, well, I didn't play it till it was on
Yeah,
tablet.
I'm looking
so.
forward to it. I can't wait to hear the soundtrack. I'm sure it's going to be awesome. They've got a bunch of cool stuff coming for it, so be excited to see.
Well,
Yeah.
we don't actually have a main topic this week. But
Oh,
there
I was going to say what I'm excited for.
Oh, tell me.
Yeah, the Blizzard esports arena. that they
Oh,
just opened
yeah,
up
in LA.
Yeah, in LA.
That's
That'll
gonna be
pretty cool.
awesome.
Yeah, it will be really cool.
I kind of want to see something played
yeah,
there. That would
I
be
think
really
it'd be cool. I mean, for me, esports is kind of like real sports, where if it's a sport that I don't really care about,
Yeah.
it's not fun to watch to me. Like,
Which is all of them.
yeah, for some people here.
Yeah, Counter-Strike Go is hard for me to watch. I like the game, but I can't stand
Yeah.
watching it.
I don't like watching StarCraft 2, but
Oh,
I
I
love watching
love
Warcraft
watching
3. I
StarCraft
love
2.
watching. Actually, I loved with a D at the end playing like MOBAs and stuff like that. But watching a MOBA is too slow for me.
See, weirdly enough, like I guess I don't actually watch the whole match of MOBAs, but I like watching the highlight reels because they're a lot of fun to watch.
Yeah, watching a highlight reel, but that's like watching a highlight reel in sports. Like,
I still don't like most highlight reels of sports. Like,
Okay,
you
well-
show me a basketball highlight reel, and I'll be like, meh.
okay, but that's just you. But
No,
like, if you
and
show
the
the
rest
average,
of humanity also.
right? Okay.
Basketball is getting dropped by humans, they said.
Okay.
By humans.
Humans. I actually work with a guy named Human.
But I actually want to switch our topic up to something non-game related, but we want to take a quick breaky poo, and it's
Do
going to
we?
be a short
we do?
topic.
Okay.
Real soon.
If you're tired of sifting through flea markets for rare and unique games, we can help. Retro City Games in Henderson, Nevada, only 5 minutes from the Las Vegas Strip, has all your favorite gaming staples, classics, and a wide selection of rare games with new stuff always appearing on our shelves. Come in and chat with Nicole or Doug about your love of games and watch as they help you complete your collection or find your childhood favorite. And don't forget, Retro City Games loves trade-ins. So if you have any Nintendo, Super Nintendo, Sega, Xbox, PlayStation, or even PC games, come in and visit Retro City Games today. Welcome to the new metropolis of gaming, Retro City Games.
So anyways, we are back. We're here to talk about something that we've brought up briefly, but it's been kind of going through some major news recently. It's a different type of medium from games, but games have been made about it. Star Wars. And we want to talk about Star Wars Episode 9 recently because they dropped their famed director, Colin Trevorrow.
He's made like 2 movies, right?
Jurassic World, one of the greatest films
Oh my
ever
gosh, that
made.
movie's bad.
And that guy is like obsessed with himself.
Oh, great.
That's why they dropped him, because
And
he's like,
Good.
Well, because he had a mirror the whole time. He got to see himself while he's
Got
looking
a little
at the mirror.
handheld mirror.
I'm sorry, guys. I
Yeah.
couldn't see the shot. Could you
this
do
like this is like the kind of guy that's like, you know, to the people that own, like the Disney execs that are like in charge of Star Wars, Kathleen Kennedy or whatever, where she's like, you can't do this or this is not good, and he's like, do you know
who I
who I
am?
am? If you're not careful, you're gonna lose me.
Who's that director who he's like thinks he's so awesome? He made that like King's like a Dungeon Siege movie with
Huey Boll.
Yeah, Huey
Oh,
Boll.
he offers to fight people if they don't like his movie. He's
Yeah.
awesome.
Is he like that guy or is he a little
No,
different?
because he's like artistically pretentious, even though he made
Oh,
Jurassic
okay.
World, which is not an art
And-
flick.
Oh, that movie
To be
is
fair,
insulting,
compared
actually.
to his second film, Book of Henry, Jurassic World
Oh,
is
Book of
considered to be
Henry.
like the best film ever. I think
Yeah.
Book of
Yeah.
Henry has like a 28% Metacritic or something like that.
Yeah, I guess he was in like people that worked on Book of Henry say he is insanely difficult to work with.
Yeah, he's insufferable. But actually, I wanted to bring it up and
Insufferable.
just talk about it for a little bit longer because I wanted to talk about how they dropped 2 directors I actually really like. Phil Lord and I want to say Chris Miller is they're like the duo that work on a bunch of things. And they were supposed
They
to be
haven't
the
worked on
directors.
that much either.
They've worked on the Lego Movie, 21st and 22nd Jump Street. They've got like a decent filmography or whatever,
Yeah.
or videography. But it's kind of a bummer that they got kicked off of the Han Solo film.
But it's
man.
for the same reason. They're difficult to work with.
But the thing is, though, like I'm worried that difficult to work with in Star Wars means like they don't exactly do what we want them to do, you know? And I know that's how Marvel works as well. And I'm just sick of this idea where we're getting these same cookie cutter films. I mean, the new Thor looks cool, so I don't want to say cookie cutter in all aspects.
You have to be careful though when you're dealing with a franchise that's as sacred as Star Wars.
Definitely.
That's what Disney is doing because of the
Yeah.
prequels.
Yeah, and I'm not trying to say like, hey, let some guy make a movie where Yoda's farting the whole time, but like I just want to see something different, you know. And I feel like
I don't
these
wanna-
side cast movies are kind of a cool way to do it.
Okay, that's true, but Star
Like
Wars
going
Episode
with Ron
7
Howard to me is like the choice of. And sorry, I cut you off.
Oh,
but
yeah,
just
it's okay.
like that's the easy choice.
Yeah,
That's like
I'm sure he'd do a great job.
He's done good movies and he's a great director,
No,
but like
He would do
some
a
fun.
good job.
Yeah.
Okay, I see what you mean. Like maybe take some chances with the side movies. I understand that. That makes sense to me. But at the same time, if someone's difficult to work with, wants and has a different artistic vision than what the fans ultimately want, because honestly, I feel like the fans are in a bigger driver's seat here than they ever are in other franchises. Disney is, I think they have their ear to the ground on movies like this, and they want to make money ultimately, and they know that if they piss people off, they're not going to make money.
Yeah, and the problem with making Han Solo like a comedy flick
Yeah.
is that Han Solo, like in his youth, is supposed to be like a pretty rough dude.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like if you Chris
There's-
Pratted it and like
There's room for comedy.
if
but-
Chewbacca is funny and like
Yeah.
if they play off each other, but Han Solo is like dark and he is hard and he doesn't soften up until he meets Luke and Leia and like, you know, he kind of like loosens up a little bit.
I guess I agree, but I just think
Well, that's the character of Han Solo.
Well,
Well, yeah,
I want a
but-
Han Solo who's also a comedian. He's a clown, and he's no longer Han
Played
Solo.
by Jim Carrey.
He's played by It Clown,
Nice transition.
which I saw is the scariest thing ever. But I do want to talk more about movies soon. But I am sleepy
Me
like
too.
a dude's sleeper.
We didn't even talk about the main part of them dropping Trevo or whatever his name is for
Trevorrow?
episode 9.
Trevorrow.
Is that they're having J.J. Abrams come back.
I heard it might be Ryan Johnson. I don't know how you say his name. The guy who did Brick, who I also think it's strange that they let him do a movie because I liked Looper, but I don't think like any of the other stuff he's done has been like amazing.
But he's got tighter script writing abilities.
Wait, real quick, who's doing episode 8?
He
Who
is.
did 8?
Rian Johnson.
Oh, he
Oh,
is?
Rian
Okay.
Johnson.
So he's doing that, and then J.J. Abrams going to do 9?
I read that J.J. Abrams is coming back for
Yeah, that's
to
what I
write
heard
and
too.
direct 9.
And somebody, I think before that, they were thinking it was Ryan or whatever his name is.
Yeah.
They were thinking it was going to be him, and then I think you're right. I think
Yeah.
I read that recently. I don't know, man. There's been so many shakeups over these films. I think planning them out the way they did was kind of bad. Where it's like, hey, we announced these 3 young directors. Psych. You know, like we don't like them. But yeah, we'll have to talk about that more in the future. Catch you on the flip side. Badooch.
That to us people that can feel things, it hurts.